Welcome to the Ultimate Hockey Podcast.
Gretzky going in, Suter trying to get back. Gretzky with the shot, score!
Here's Lemieux. The center penalty coming up. Look at Lemieux. Oh my heavens. What a goal. What a move. Lemieux. Oh baby.
Brown ahead for Murray. Murray going in. He scores! Here's another shot. Right by the score! And he does it!
We're the best. I've been telling you the best.
Yeah, fucking stop!
I got a fucking rocket in my pants.
Campoli trying to clear it. Ball, shoots, scores!
Trade me right fucking now.
Trade me right fucking now!
Welcome back to old-time hockey.
Okay, well, I guess welcome to episode 3 of the Ultimate Podcast.
Wow, where's
Three,
this guy?
four?
It's not, you've been keeping track.
4?
Haven't you?
Like
7, isn't it? Yeah, it's about 7.
Oh my god, time flies. Has it really been that many? Oh yeah, because we had like the TV out for one. And oh yeah, man. Well, welcome to another edition of the Ultimate Podcast. It's been a minute since we've all gotten together. Like we said, it's been a couple weeks at least. Lots has happened. Lots has happened just in the game of hockey, as well as our very own Vancouver Canucks, who are currently tied 2-2. Third period. It's got to be third now, yeah. And it's a rainy Sunday night. So, I mean, the first thing, I guess, to kick off, the biggest thing,
Address the elephant in the room.
the elephant in the room is, Alexander Ovechkin scoring and beating Wayne Gretzky's all-time goals record. Unbelievable. I think it was, I mean, so I saw the highlight after, and I thought it was really cool because I watched it and then I got emotional watching it. But when I told Jessica about it, my wife, she got excited to see it because, I mean, excited for me too, but when she witnessed how the wives were with each other, with Wayne's and Ovi's wives, and just like the sharing of the gifts between them and sort of the history between that with Wayne's wife and with Gordy there. And so I thought that was just super cool. Wayne is just such the humble guy. I mean, it's kind of about him and Ovi, but yet they kind of sort of have this cool way of making it not about them. I mean, Ovi, the first thing he does is thank the goalie he scores it on, because he knows he's going to be in the highlight reel forever, getting scored on, right? So, yeah, I thought that was just like such a cool thing. I love watching him play, and he just gets so excited, and that to me is just the epitome of hockey, like to just see this, like he's still his 12-year-old self out there, loving to score goals and doing it for his team. Like he's such a team guy, and getting the team, trying to fire them up and before the game, doing his dance. Bands make them dance, whatever, right? Like I love it, and just super happy for him. And also kind of the next level of that, to add to this rant, I'm sorry, but it happened in New York.
Against Ilya Sorokin, who he had never scored on.
That's right? So I was like, okay, that's super cool. He never scored on, so he was like, hey, thanks, man. But it happens in New York, and so, but they were still so loving. They were still so receptive and like, they just, because I think they knew it was bigger than any bullshit that's going on in the world. And he kind of even says that, like, for the fans around the world, even in Russia, and he was kind of like, when he said it, you could kind of tell everybody was like, hey, but they knew he had to say that because, he still has family back there, and, he does have those ties and stuff, and he is a proud Russian guy. He can't fucking speak to what his president's doing and whatever, but, I think he's just always done everything just so above board, and I'm just super happy for him. And to be able to watch that in our lifetime, like in my lifetime, to witness that, awesome. So my hat's off to Ovi. Also not wanting to go out for the overtime or for the empty net goal and stuff. Like he's got class, man. And I'm just, now what? Who's going to beat that? Who is going to beat that? The guy's, 40, 39, 40?
40.
41?
I think. 40.
It's like 40, 41. I think we're pretty close, him and I. He shoots the puck harder than I do a little bit, but I mean, other than that,
He's the Russian machine.
Other than that, we're pretty close. Breaks his leg earlier in the year, and he still has like 40 some odd goals. This like unreal. So I mean, again, this he's a monster. He is the machine, the Russian machine. So I mean, McDavid's a hell of a hockey player. Makar.
McDavid might go after the assist that Gretzky got at the rate he goes.
McKinnon, but these guys I just don't know.
No, it'll be someone like Celebrini or someone new, another generational player come in before you get that.
Yeah, well, we'll see. So yeah, that's the first thing I would want to bring up. Anybody, what do you got? You got thoughts on Ovi?
Oh, well, I mean, the lead up to the goal was amazing. Like, I realized that we were, living history. It brought me back to my days when Gretzky was breaking records. So it felt exciting again. I remember when I was a kid and every day I would look at the newspaper, and I'd look at, Gretzky in brackets, like picking up all those points and counting like 7 points a game. Wow. Getting, goosebumps over that, right? So, it hit me this year, like, wow, like Ovechkin has scored this many goals. Holy cow. And, Lemieux was one of those guys that I was like, wow, Lemieux is like just as good as Gretzky. And since Lemieux, I don't think I've ever like been following anybody since then. Like, I didn't think anybody had really, that greatness that would be catching records. I just thought it was, Gretzky, Lemieux, but Lemieux got cancer, so kind of put a damper on that. And then since then, haven't been really excited about anybody breaking a record. But, I mean, Ovechkin's been looking good, and I don't even know why I didn't clue in on it, but it wasn't until this year where I was like, wow. And, today's goal was just a great example of, how his shot is still so young. Like, he was at full tilt, catching the puck in full stride, winding up, letting go, like perfect technique, putting his whole body into it and just ripping it past the goalie. His head was down. He wasn't like, marking a spot or anything. So he just knows where he is and he's just picking a side. But
he shot that so hard as a wrist shot. It was like a kind of ahead of him a little bit, and so he like it was just it was a wrist shot. It hit the net, like it hit the post so hard, it hit the goalie in the back of the head and went in. Like he can, unreal. Like that's his spot. Like that is the Ovi spot now, and you see other teams. I think the Canucks too even kind of like mimic it a little bit, because it's a soft area. It's kind of hard for a defender to cover because you're far enough away from the front of the net that you're outside of that home plate that everybody loves teaching, right? Well, maybe that home plate, you don't teach that no more. And now this is why, it's kind of the new NHL or what have you, right? It's a lot more flowy and stuff. So,
and just for the conversation, when was Gretzky's record set? 35 years ago?
It was the Kings versus the Canucks.
Yeah. I think it was 32.
32 years. So nobody has broken this record in 32 years. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. And now you look at, the upcoming athletes, like how long is it going to be till the next one?
Well, if we base it on history, didn't Cody Howe's record last before Gretzky for like almost 30 years again, right?
We might not see this for a while. Like this is monumental.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough record to break. I mean, it might never happen, right? So you never know. Because, I mean, Ovechkin is a different type of beast, right?
It's a different breed, for sure.
He has the body of like a guy that never seems to tire.
Yeah.
He has that kind of, when you're watching him play soccer and guys are bumping into him and flying off of him 3 feet after just a soft bump, you just realize this guy is an incredible athlete. And
he's thick as mud, man. Like, he is a barrel chest. Like,
He's the
did you
dad
see
bod
him during the parade? How much alcohol he had? Dude doesn't give a shit, man. Like, no. I agree. He is a different type of human. Like, when you watch him skate, when you're watching him out there, like, he just moves different. There's a reason he's got all those goals, and that's why. Like, no joke. And it seems like he can keep playing.
Well, he's got another year on his contract.
At least. You know, like, and I mean, I know Fleury wants to retire at the end of the year, but I'm like, hey, man, I'd love to see you put that black, yellow, and red on in Vancouver. Could use you as a backup maybe next year or even a starter, because I think topic 2 should be the goaltending situation in Vancouver right now. It's kind of bleak. I don't like the depth. I don't like where it's headed so much. And it just seems like this is always going to be a perpetual problem here. And I don't, I was trying to be optimistic. Okay, well, where else has this been a problem? Edmonton kind of has a problem with their goaltending. I mean, and has had in their past. Grant Fear. Anyway.
Wait, what's my goalie stick hollowed out at the end?
Yeah, right. No, but yeah, just but Calgary's doing okay. I mean, obviously with the kid now, he's probably going to get. They're saying he's the rookie of the year.
They think so, yeah. If he keeps up, especially if they make playoffs.
So I mean, yay them. But before that, I mean, Markstrom, when he went there, he wasn't kind of a shell of himself. He didn't do what they thought he was going to do. Like, Calgary's had issues with goaltending in the past too. So we can be negative because it's happening in Vancouver again and again and again. But my heart goes out to Demko. I just don't. It just doesn't. I mean, I hope next year he comes back healthy and strong and can, with the practice and sort of with the tempo of it all, at least kind of be better. And I can't really speak to how he's played since he's been back because I haven't honestly watched it enough to make that call or judgment. But I can just say that I know one, it's tough. The timing and everything isn't going to be there. And 2, he might be playing different or might be shielding it or something because he just doesn't seem the same. So
he's going to play 5-10 games, then have to rest it. 5-10 games, rest it.
So, So I don't know what that means. That means we keep him as like our closer or something for the playoffs, or we keep him as our fucking all-star backup. But I don't know. But then you got to start talking numbers and contracts, and I don't follow that. So
him and Lankinen together would be a little over 9 or 10 million.
And what's the league average for that for a goaltending tandem?
I wouldn't know offhand. I do know Edmonton's got the cheapest goaltending tandem.
Yeah, I would say throw you and me out there. Anyways, yeah.
But like Demko, okay, he's got 5 or 7 million on his contract. I forget what it is. Mm-hmm. But he's got just 1 more year, so he's got no trade value. Keep him, play him.
Yeah.
Play him for a 5-game stretch, or him and Lankinen 50-50 all the way down. You get solid goaltending of Lankinen. You get solid goaltending of Demko. Yeah, maybe Lankinen plays more because of Demko's injury.
Well, yeah, and maybe that's not the end of the world too, right? Because we can develop him and stuff, but I don't know. It's another question mark, and on our drive over here, we're talking about question marks going into the next season. Coaching, Rick Tocchet, I don't know how happy he is with who he has as his players right now. Because talkie hockey, is probably more like number 9 hockey and less like number 40 hockey, but he's stuck with number 40 and no number 9. So I don't know how happy he is. He's obviously not super pumped about what the fuck happened in the dressing room and everything over the course of the last 2 years or longer, and he kind of feels like maybe he's got to go in there and deal with childish things. And he's not getting paid enough to do that or what have you, because there's some other places, some other teams that might love to scoop him up where he doesn't have to fucking babysit. Now, having said that, hopefully that's all said and done now, right? Because I think you've cut some of what was a cancer out of the room. The dust will settle. Canucks aren't going to make the playoffs this year. No. Continue to settle that dust. Demko has to either heal or fucking get cut. That dust will settle in the offseason. There's going to be moves made in the offseason. Well, I sure hope so.
There has to be moves.
There has to be moves, right? So
Canucks, the team that never rebuilds, just good enough to make playoffs.
Well, and no kidding, but I do wonder, I wonder how much say he has versus what Alvin and them want to do with the direction of the team. But the thing is like, well, then why do you, if anything, it's the coach who's coaching the way he wants his guys to play. So give him
a bit of a say,
give him sort of like the pieces on the chessboard he wants to have. If he's a more north-south guy, give him some rooks, right? If he wants to go east-west, move sideways a little bit, right? Like set them up with some bishops and stuff. Yeah, I realize they can go sideways too, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like he has to get the pieces he wants, and I feel like that he hasn't really done that maybe, or hasn't had as much say with it. Some of the things he says too, like after in interviews talking, Sherwood with the hits record, he was almost pissed off about it. And he's almost pissed off about it because either Sherwood is doing something he's not supposed to be doing and putting himself in a position or out of position, setting himself up or his teammates up for failure, or why the fuck is it only him? Because it shouldn't only be him throwing his weight around. It should be the whole team or whatever, right? Like, so.
Well, Tocchet said that he was kind of running around.
Yeah, right? He says running around out there. And so, but at the same time, he's got to do, Sherwood's got, somebody has to be that guy. And the shitty thing is it can't just be one guy doing it. Like, there has to be a physical presence on a team is what I should say. But it should come from the whole fucking team and not just one guy running around with his head cut off.
Or at least one guy in each line. So brings up the question now, do you think Tocchet is going to go for a good contract and doesn't get a say? Or is he going to want a decent contract and get a say in the personnel? That's one for the viewers. What do you think? Give us some comments.
Yeah. Well, what would you want to do?
If I was a coach, I wouldn't want to be in Vancouver. Because, you don't really get a say in what personnel you get, and you get thrown under the bus, and you take all the blame, even though it might be higher-ups that are causing your problems.
And just the situation that happened, we don't know everything that happened, but it has the feeling of the Bertuzzi incident, just shit went down, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you just got to move forward, but things aren't going to be the same. And it seems like we're only rolling downhill now because people got pissed off. And whether you're looking at Miller getting traded or Pettersson getting traded, some of the players wanted Miller on the team.
Some of the fans wanted Miller on the team.
Well, of course, the fans wanted Miller on the team. I wanted Miller on the team.
If you gave me the option to have Petey or Miller on the team, I would have said get rid of Petey I wouldn't even have to think twice about it.
Me too.
Yep, but who's more tradable? It's not necessarily a sport or what you want. It's a business.
Exactly.
But sometimes you got to cut your losses. They needed to make a better team. And if that meant taking a loss at losing Pettersson, take the loss.
That's a lot of money, though.
It is a lot of money.
That we're going to lose a lot of money getting rid of Pettersson.
But $11 million?
But Pettersson had no trade clause.
Oh.
Pettersson had a no trade clause. JT Miller had a trade clause.
Yeah.
So we could have traded Pettersson to anybody that would have taken him.
But that's the thing.
If they would have taken him.
I don't think anybody's going to take him.
You don't
Not
think
at
so?
11. You'd eat some of the contracts, same as like
So,
with
yeah. So
Yeah,
same as
like,
Luongo.
who is going to take him? And that's a very stupid trade, in my opinion. Like he is just underperforming. He's one of the highest paid players in the league. It would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And as Nathan McKinnon said to Makar, like, you're getting paid like what, under 9? Or 9 million, and there's people out there making more than you. And with the salary cap going where it is, like, do you think players are going to get paid more, or do you think you're going to be able to spread your salary out more now?
Sorry, I know this isn't what you want to hear, bro.
No, man. Like,
where are you going to go with Pettersson's trade?
I mean, I love Pettersson too. I mean, I think he's great.
no, like you guys aren't wrong. You know, like it's two sides of the same coin. Like you want somebody like JT Miller. You want somebody that drives that fire, that whatever, you know, but at the same time,
You want that room chemistry.
yeah, like maybe he can't be fucking leaning into the guy from Sweden who's having a rough go and knows it right now and needs some support and not fucking hammers thrown at him, right? Like, so it is what it is. And I don't know. We won't know. We don't know what was going on in the room, but it seems like that would be the reason why the decision was made. But that axe hasn't finished falling. You know what I mean? Like, they've only kind of, okay, JT's gone. Well, what else? Because it's probably more bros in his camp, right? So, yeah, maybe of the guys in the room, like, oh, fuck. Man, yeah, I was kind of mean to fucking PD too, or I was whatever too, or I was part of this or part of that too. Like, yeah, like if it was a clicky bullshit thing, then you're going to see that the echoes of that moving forward as that progresses. And that's what I'm saying with moves, maybe shit we're going to see in the offseason. Like, we might see something where it's like, what? Oh, that's weird. Why did we do that? Why did we okay, well, maybe it's more than just the X's and O's. You know, I love talking that it should all be about a hockey trade, should be a hockey trade, you know, but yeah, the money's part of it, the drama that's inside the room and the politics that is part of it, you know, and this is what we're seeing in Vancouver right now, and I can't stand that because of all of the things that should not be a fucking problem in pro sports, but for sure it is, right? And I mean, hilariously, with the internet being what it is now, like, we're hearing about stuff that happens in locker rooms that, like, we'd never have known about 20, 30 years ago, right? Where, like, some guy slaps, there was two basketball players, I can't remember, one big, tall motherfucker and one not so big, tall, like, point guard, not AI, but, like, small guy like AI. And he's thugged out, and he was talking, he goes, yeah, that motherfucker slapped me in the room. And then one of the guys on the podcast is like, what did you do? And because he knows what happened. Because he goes, yeah, everybody's scrambling around. I went to go get that tool. But he went to go get a fucking gun because he just got punched out in the locker room. Like, so wild shit happens in the locker rooms. Of course it does. We just they didn't have phones and stuff 20, 30 years ago, 10 years ago. You know, and anyway, but I think we're hearing a little bit more about it now than we ever have before. I don't think that's super right, but it's interesting because it's having an effect on a pro sports team right now in this fucking city, and that's too bad. But we'll see what happens in the offseason.
I laughed when Bufflin tossed Evander Kane's stuff all in the shower. That was pretty funny. In Edmonton, I think it was. I forgot which team.
Yeah,
no, it was
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. But yeah, you don't hear about that back in the 80s and that. Like, you didn't hear about Jeff Brown and Kirk McLean until well after the trades happened and that.
Is that just because you think it was a different time and the people had a different, like, kind of respect for each other? Like, people didn't talk about their feelings back then, right? You're a man. You deal with it on your own. Now everything's all open with mental health.
I mean,
I think it more has to do with how much media and publicity play a part in the sport now. Because, like, media comes in there and they ask the dumbest questions.
but you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. It's the times too.
Yeah.
It's for sure the times. And the expectation. There was a... Yeah, it's the times. I mean, I think that's a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to that Bertuzzi incident. So there. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the documentary that TSN made, but they did an amazing job of, calculating the whole,
Build up
to it.
Okay.
Like with Mark Crawford.
Yeah.
Watching Naslund get hit by him, by Moore, and then the step-by-step escalation to the incident. And then, it happens, and then you see Bertuzzi doing the interviews and feeling so much shame, and you just feel this, like, incredible cloud building over Vancouver. It's like a bad luck cloud. Like, we lost one of the best lines in hockey, Bertuzzi, Naslund, Morrison. Like, how fun was that line? And then because of that incident, and, I don't think Bertuzzi, I mean, he's such a JT Miller player. I mean, if you think about it, he's got the same kind of grit, the same playmaking abilities, the great goal scoring, abilities as well. And he has to, take one for the team. But it's got that kind of same, terrible situation that happened, kind of like with what JT Miller happened with Pettersson. I mean, once it happens, that you kind of feels like this, you can't be fixed. It's like a corrupt feeling that, you just have to move on and get out of the team. So I don't know. It's my take is that it is a Vancouver Canuck bad luck kind of thing.
We've had some tough luck. Yeah. And I mean, the Bertuzzi incident, like, I remember that pretty vividly too. It sounds so dumb. And looking back and everybody 2020 and but he fucking Moore had the chance to stand up, like, to fight a guy that he should have fought, and he didn't. From what I remember, he picked somebody who was half his size or what have you, and like, big deal. Not that brought that on to him, but hey, man, like, what you did to fucking Nazi was pretty low too, Like, there is some bullshit that happened on the other side too. Like, I'm not taking away the fact that the dude broke his neck, like, and things that was a terrible. He got jumped from behind. The whole, like, yes.
Bad luck.
I mean, the neck got broke because he got knocked out, and then there was a fucking dog pile on top of him.
He hit the ice hard.
You see his visor hold his head up, like, because he's unconscious, so he can't, like, there's no resistance to the impact, like, all that weight on him. So you see his head.
He was
me
out
just
before he
doing
hit
that
the
here
ice.
like this hurts. You know what I mean? Like, my toes tingle when I do it. So of course it's gonna break his neck with 600 pounds of dude on him. Like, anyway. This is why fighting can't get out of the game, because hockey is the only sport where a fight is a de-escalation, because you carry around a hockey stick, a club. I think I said this again on the podcast before, and I'll say it until I die. Like, you can't get it out of the game because these people have to be responsible or accountable, at least, to each other out there. And that's part of it. And you didn't see it with Moore, and a terrible thing happened. And you don't see it, and then sometimes somebody overreacts, and this is the world we live in. Right? Like we said, it's kind of the times too now. Yeah. And you're seeing that on the ice. And again, like we taught, it's in the language we use in the culture on the go kill him. Mm-hmm. No, man, separate him from the puck and make the play, or take a hit to make the play. Right? No, kill him. Right? Put it through him, and yeah, it's kind of how I coach. I would be coaching too, right? You want to hit through somebody because you want them to feel the impact and you want to make that hit successful. But there's a respect there. You're not actually killing the guy.
Yeah, like
anyway, I know you guys know that, but this is what I'm saying. Like, and that message isn't coming down, and it's pandemonium out there sometimes. Like, you're not seeing the respect that you did 10 years ago.
Yeah, but you look at like Horvat crushed, I forget who it was the other day, into the boards with like what looked to be an innocent shot. And right away he's worried and that. There's respect in some of the players, but like the players coming up, a lot of them don't have the respect.
Yeah, or you throw a good, clean hit.
And you have to fight.
I guess I'm fighting somebody now.
Yep.
There was a lot of craziness back in the 70s and 80s, though. Like, if you think about it, those bench clearing brawls, those sticks to the head, like the whole, slap shot McCracken with the eye gouging, the whole,
Billy's.
That whole idea was out there. I'm going to carve your fucking face out with my stick. Hextall. Yeah, I mean, hockey's always been violent. And there's always guys that are just completely crazy.
And we're not, football too. Yeah. Like, they're doing it to football too. They're doing it to, baseball.
They're fighting in baseball.
Yeah, but
how many times have you seen them charge the mound?
I'm gonna turn my mic off. How do I turn my mic off? I don't want to get all the baseball people freaking out at me. No, I hear you for sure.
Any kind of sport, there's always going to be a sense of physicalness, because at the end of the day, you've got two teams that want to win, and they want to win badly.
I think any sport where you have two competitive people going against each other.
Exactly.
But it's de-escalated.
Sort of, but it's like rappers beef. Oh, he hit him, now I got to go out and hit him. Oh, he hit him and him, now I got to go get him and him and him. Yeah. And sometimes it de-escalates if it's under the understanding that, okay, you did something the refs didn't catch, now you're going to pay the piper. Mm-hmm. It's not de-escalating when you did something I don't like, I'm going to go get you now. Originally, fighting was, like, go back 60s and 70s, they just fought because they were mean as fuck and didn't care. And then in the 80s and 90s, it was more like either it's crowd entertainment or it's you did something wrong and the refs didn't catch it. That's why they had the enforcer. Or you took a cheap shot at Wayne Gretzky or our star trying to take him out of the game. That's why you had enforcing and fighting for, I guess, the real sense of the sport. So if you just got like beef after beef, like a bunch of rap artists, it's not going to help the game.
But there was more Bryant Reeves type of guys back in the days. Every team seemed to have a goon or two or three.
Yep.
Right? Like, if you looked at, the Oilers, they had Semenko. The Canucks had Dave Williams, Craig Cox. The Wings had Bob Probert. The Leafs had Ty Domi, right? Like, every team had a goon that was just as vicious as Reeves. Mm-hmm. And they were good hockey players, too. Like, Ojcic could put the puck in the net with Bure, right? So
Philly had their whole lineup back in the day. Like, no, man. And that was, that's part of because of that's how the game was played, too. Like, everybody was skating around, like, smoking darts in between and periods, and then going out there and, like Mario Lemieux himself, we heard famously, Biz, I heard him on one of the podcasts. So yeah, like, the game has evolved, and so everybody's, you see a little bit more Jack Hughes size or Quinn Hughes size guys out there now, like they're not that big.
But it's changed in the sense of now it's all skill.
Well, this is, there were some skill guys. That's the thing. They were skill guys back in the day.
They were skilled guys. They just
comparatively.
But they weren't given the role to go and score.
Yeah.
They were given the role to go and hit.
So I think the game's changed now too, and with the contracts having to be the way they are, you can't afford to just pay a guy to fight. Everybody's kind of got to be a 2-way, 3-way player or whatever, like be able to hit, check, and score a goal, or at least making a fancy assist play. So, yeah. Anyway.
I mean, at least they've got rid of, like, a lot of the concussions that Matt Cook was, going out there and doing, right? That's changed. And the NFL's the same way, right? There's no more quarterbacks in danger. They're all getting super soft on QBs.
It's so bad now, though. Like,
yeah, I don't agree with it, but whatever.
I fucking can't stand it.
It's one of those things where you don't want to agree with it, but you understand that it's the right thing to do to prevent the injuries and the head injuries. It's not. It maybe not be as pleasurable to watch. For us,
right?
We want to see we want to see the big hits.
How much money are they making? They know the fucking risks.
No, they don't.
Bullshit, they don't.
Dude, man, some of those linebackers are so uneducated, they don't have a clue.
They have no.
Then guess what?
They don't have
then fucking guess what? There should be some kind of education program when you're signing your rookie contract. Because no, man, you're making generational money by the end, and everybody, like, I mean, it's changed now. They say it hasn't and stuff and whatever, but like, you're making ridiculous amounts of money. I get it. You're putting your body on the line for sure, but the risks, and so that this is part of it. You don't see the guys trying to make the huge big catch or whatever anymore or maybe they are now because defenders. No, they can't defend against it. Mm-hmm. I'm not hitting a defenseless receiver. I'm hitting a guy trying to catch a ball that I don't want him to catch.
Yeah.
So it's actually the linemen that were...
Well, them too, yeah.
Were more at risk than anybody else.
Yeah, because of the... Yeah, I get that. But the blocks, the blind sides
University of North
and
Carolina came out with a study, and the suicide rate of NFL linemen in their 50s, like 50 years old to 50 to 6 years old, was something astronomical. Like 70,
the blind side hits, the cross.
They were suppressing that information from future players because they knew that if they let players know that's what's going to happen to them, and they're going to have these concussions and these painkillers that are going to make them addicted, and then their lives are going to be ruined. If that information gets to the young generations, guess what's going to happen?
Nobody wants to play football.
That's
Yeah,
right.
well, I know. And you see, I mean, the game is kind of evolving. They're changing. I mean, what they're doing with it, making it very offensive now. Like, they want points. They want scores. They want cheering, they want the positivity of it, but
But they have that.
I know.
They're the most profitable league in all of major sports in North America. Like,
I'm just such a big fan of defense. Hold the line, protect the house, get that shit out of here,
it was fun.
And like,
it was fun.
You'll never see another, Ray Lewis type player, I don't think, because you're not allowed to be.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Chad Johnson tried to blindside Ray Lewis once.
That's a fun
and
story.
he gave himself a fucking concussion. Yeah. So, like, you can't blame these guys for doing a job they have to do. Back up 200-300 years ago, they had swords and shields in there. Like, man, the NFL shield was an actual shield, and that guy was fighting for his freedom, man. Like, maybe more than 200-300 years ago. But, the Coliseum was a real thing. Guys were fighting for their lives, and, I mean, these boys are not fighting for their lives. They're fighting for a big, 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 fat paycheck. Same as hockey, same as baseball, all these major athletics. And, part of the reason I have zero fucks for when LeBron James needs a rest day when he's on the road, because, Tom, Dick, and Harry just are there to watch him play. They just spent their fucking beer money to go watch him play, and he's sitting on the fucking bench.
Not even that.
Not even that.
But
He's in the press box.
Kids.
Well,
Like the kids that
I'm
are
getting
looking-
there.
the kids that are looking
I was
up to
just
him.
gonna say I'm
Okay.
getting there.
Great minds think
Great
alike.
work ethic.
Yeah.
What a great way to show a fucking work ethic. Kobe Bryant, the fucking one of the GOATs, okay? I can't put him above Jordan. I can't. But one of the GOATs famously told somebody why he never fucking passed the ball to anyone. And he says, because these motherfuckers show up to practice. Like John and I. It's because of me. We show up late or on time to practice. And they practice hard, and then they go home. I'm here an hour before practice shooting hoops. I'm here for an hour after practice shooting hoops. I'm not passing to these motherfuckers because they don't want it hard enough. That is work ethic.
Yeah.
Taking a day off because you need it because you think your team might go to the play. Like, give yourself a fucking head a shake, man. You're an old boy now. Like, sure, rest. Then get out. Get the fuck out. Time to go. Give it to your kid. Right? Your time to shine is gone. LeBron, I can't stand LeBron James. Anyway, I'll shut the fuck up because I'm just hating. It's terrible. You're a terrible, terrible child.
No, I love Kobe too. Have you guys heard this story that Shaq tells about them coming home from the club and Kobe was going to the gym?
No.
Oh man, I mean, there's so many great Kobe stories, but
Sounds like Chelios.
Shaq was telling a story about how Kobe got them to go to the gym, and that was when he really turned things around. Like, Kobe's going to the gym, they're coming back from the club, he's on his way at 5 a.m., to the gym, and eventually he got everybody else to go into the gym with him, and then that's when everything turned around for the Lakers, because it's the work ethic, and if you get your teammates on board, then that's all it takes.
The X's little chat in the dressing room with the Canucks when he went for retirement, right? It was like everyone wanted to be there, everyone competed, everyone had the work ethic. They had great culture in the room. Everyone supported each other, and they drove each other.
Yeah. I would say that's what really makes a championship team, when your leaders get everybody else on board with the work ethic, and then if you got everybody just burning it every time they practice, every time they're at the gym, helping, motivating each other, that's when you got a good team.
Yeah. And anyone who makes it to a professional sport has that somewhat drive. But lots of guys, they're like, hey, look, I signed, I got money, I made it. I don't have to work as hard, or I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing.
It changed.
And Kobe was one of those guys that was like, I'm going to keep doing better and keep improving.
It changes them when you see that kind of a contract too, right? And another thing too is like, if you're not having fun, you're not playing your hardest, right? That's what I think a lot of the time that's what happens is they stop having fun. You mentioned it earlier. Ovi's having a great time. He loves the fucking game.
Look at him dive across the blue line.
Look at him
like a fucking 12-year-old.
His attitude is so great these days. Like, even that reception he gave Fleury, he got all his teammates to come back out. Everything that he's doing right now is just like a textbook classic hockey player with like respect for the game, love for the game, and just you can see the passion, and he's inspiring everybody. Right?
And look how much respect he has from everyone else in the league. Go watch when the Capitals won the championship, Stanley Cup. Watch anything that breaks out. Someone would be beside Ovi, like, hey man, I got you. And like, you're my dance partner. Mm-hmm. And like, Ovi would do something and people respected him. Like, oh, like you hit that guy, but you're checking to see he's okay. Okay, we're not going to fight. We're not going to like cause a ruckus. It's just interesting.
Now, 87's doing good things too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, Crosby, it just points, right? Like he did Gretzky points per
20
season,
points per
20
season.
points per season for like fucking a million seasons in a row or
years.
something. Like, that's insane. No, like Crosby as well has been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Ovi's just always been my guy. I've just grown up loving him, but like Crosby too. He's always been more of a, how did Gretzky put it? It was a bit of a McEnroe when I played, he said. It was a bit of a John McEnroe back in my day or whatever. I died when he said that, but fucking
If
Crosby's
you had to live either one's life, who would you live? Ovi's or Crosby's?
Ovi.
You'd probably live Ovi. He's having more fun. But
Listen, my wife couldn't shut up about how hot his wife was, and I wasn't going to
Agree?
disagree with that. I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's fucking hideous. Like,
Oh, I didn't notice.
oh,
I didn't even notice.
oh, she is good looking.
Weird.
Anyways, we're getting off topic before I'm getting on the
Yarmir
couch
Jagr's
tonight.
in that ballpark too, you know.
Dude, what he said. Did you catch what he said?
Pittsburgh retirement, that was cool.
When he retired? He's like, yeah, I know she's probably too young to have seen me play, but I tell her, don't worry, I let her know how good I was. Oh my fucking God. The fact that he said that to like a sold out crowd. Zero fucks, right? Oh, I love him so much. He's another GOAT, right? Like, watching him skate around too. Just another big bodied fucking Russian, like not Russian, but European that knew how to play, you know? And these European, like, man, solid dudes. Yeah.
Well, I think he owns the team that he plays on.
Yeah.
So
I
he's
think
still
so, yeah.
playing. I think.
I don't know if he was playing the full season or anything, but he was definitely still playing earlier this
Damn,
year.
he's got to be close to 50.
I think it was
50. He's got to be over 50,
52,
eh?
I thought.
Yeah.
52 or 53, and he was still scoring. But like, he's also afraid that if he doesn't show up, that team's not going to have enough fan base.
Yeah.
So like, double-edged sword there.
Whatever. He's the power play and the penalty kill specialist, man. Just that's it.
He's got to be tired though, right? You think about it, he's still staying in that good of shape. Yeah. He's still getting up at 5 a.m. and going to the gym type thing.
Did you guys hear what he was doing at 7 years old? 300 push-ups and 700 squats every day.
Wow.
At 7.
I mean, I wasn't doing that at 7.
Well, that's why he's still banging 24-year-olds at 50 years old.
The work ethic, right?
The work. He's putting in the time. He's making sure he gets those extra
Something
laps
tells
in.
me it's not the hockey that's
That
driving him
cardio,
anymore.
his Peloton score is through the roof. Like, oh man. Fuck. Well, what else? What else do we got on the docket here? I mean, I didn't write any notes in any particular
Jordan Binnington
order.
pulling the switcheroo.
Oh, that was.
He's
cute.
got a nice sense of humor.
What's this?
That was great. So, John posted that video of Jordan Binnington, and he came out in a Stevens jersey with player gear.
That was preseason, though, right?
No, that was like middle of the season.
I thought that was,
He was
like
back up
preseason.
one day and just like hopped off, like knew they were gonna win. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go get changed. Then hopped on the ice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cute.
And then, I mean, he is carrying the team again. Like, they've won 11 or 12 in a row right now, and they're the reason why the Canucks are out of the playoff spot and have no chance.
Well, having fun.
Do you think Binnington's having fun, or Binnington found that level again?
I think
Where he competes.
both, right? Like I know, and I'm not watching the Blues play, but I can only imagine as a goalie, if you're winning, you're having fun, and you're feeling good, and you won a gold fucking medal for Canada or the championship 4 seasons extravaganza, whatever the hell it was called. They've changed. I feel like they changed the name,
Frankie
and then people
Valley
were
and the
calling
Fran-
it different things.
Frankie
Anyway,
Valley and the
the
Four
World
Seasons.
Cup, the World Cup of hockey or whatever. The what?
I know what you're talking about.
It's the Four Nations, not Frankie Valley and the Four Seasons.
Yeah, right. Whatever. Like, so they won that. He won that, right? And he had all the criticism in the world from everyone, including yours truly here, foot in mouth. But you know, he told us all to go fuck ourselves and put on a show and won us that fucking game. He really did. So he's just kind of continuing to carrying that cross of his. And I'm here to tell you, he's on his way. Like, yeah.
I love the way he does interviews. Like, when he takes an interview with stupid questions, he has no hesitation to let you know you're fucking an idiot.
So cold.
And, just, he's got that personality of a champion. So I hope he does well. I like St. Louis.
I loved that interview when he was winning the Stanley Cup. Are you scared of this guy or that guy? Do I look scared? Just like,
yeah,
the confidence, the swagger.
Yeah, he had that look. Do I look nervous? Something and he had that kind of look. Like, wow, he's got cold blood.
Well, like they said, Binnington's a hell of a goalie. Marc-Andre Fleury, hell of a goalie. Both of them won Stanley Cups in their rookie year. Guys are saying if Calgary makes playoffs and wins, does that put Wolf in that position too, right?
Well, I don't know, but he's going to have to see in 25, 30 years, right? Fleury's been doing it for that long, so is Binnington.
I wasn't talking about Hall of Famer. I'm just saying, Binnington came in rookie year, won the Stanley Cup.
And Calgary's not doing fucking nothing in the playoffs.
They're not going to make it. St. Louis is taking it. And the only chance that they've got is to bump out Minnesota, but Minnesota won today too, so it's over. The only race right now for a playoff spot is Montreal Canadiens. The Rangers, the Blue Jackets have a chance. Detroit Red Wings, they're all kind of fighting for that last playoff spot over there. Ottawa's going to be in. So that leaves us with 5 Canadian hockey teams that are going to be in the playoffs. I'd say 3 of them have a pretty good chance to do some damage. Yeah, you got Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto's your leader on the East, and then Edmonton, Winnipeg on the West.
Well, Edmonton will cash out early.
Yeah, Edmonton's on the downslide. I don't know what's going on with them. McDavid's injured, right?
They no say he might come back in a week or two. Yeah. But he'll come back for playoffs.
Oh, they're done.
Dude, man.
Well, their goaltending's suffering right now.
I mean, at least they're in it, though.
Yeah, but they're not.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
who's laughing?
Yeah, but you take McDavid out of the lineup, even with Draisaitl in there, you can see the gaping hole that they have when they don't have offense. When it comes back on defense, you're just like, ooh. Now you got Draisaitl kind of hurt too. It's
yeah.
You can see that's not a depth team. Everyone who wins has depth.
McDavid and Draisaitl semi-injured, they're not going to go very far.
So the question remains then, would you rather be a team that makes the playoffs that gets kicked out in the first round or not make the playoffs at all?
Am I the owner?
From the fans' perspective. Fans' perspective, not the owner.
No, I want to see my team in the playoffs no matter what, and I want to see them do well and hope for the best. But
because if you make it in there, there's a fucking chance. You get into there's a chance.
Think of a 94.
Man,
we slipped in, and we were down 3-1 in the first round, and we won 3 games in a row in OT. Mm-hmm. You know how crazy that was? Yeah. And then we had momentum. And that momentum was we couldn't be beat.
Yeah, but we were actually a team then compared to Edmonton.
That's true. Burry wasn't carrying us every game. No. We had a different leader every game scoring big goals. Courtnall, he had a great slap shot in game 5. Linden powered in the game 6, and then Burry with the game 7. But after that, it was just I interviewed Cliff about it, and he's like every night there was another guy who wanted to be a hero on the team because everybody was just being lifted up. So it was like a full team momentum. Yeah, Edmonton. They lost a couple of good players that I like Holloway and what was the other guy that went to Los Angeles? Fogle. Yeah, I think those were 2 big losses for them.
Toronto, I'd like to see. They have potential. They have a full house. They've got guys and everything they need. Hey, I'm not taking it from a fan's point of view. I personally, I don't want to see Toronto make it anywhere. I'm kind of torn between Toronto and Habs. Which one do I want to see?
My second favorite team. Whoever plays against Toronto. Whoever play in Toronto that
You
night.
sound like guys
Why
in
do
the
you
group
hate
chat.
Toronto so much?
Because he's from Vancouver.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Center of the universe, man. They think they're all fucking hot shit back there.
You know what? I have family in Ontario, and nobody
Tell
lives
me
in
I'm wrong.
Toronto, and they hate everybody from Toronto.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, well.
So there is kind of like that New York mentality, like everybody hates New Yorkers around that area, right? I think it's the same kind of idea.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of Vancouverites I'm fans with either.
I had a buddy.
But yeah, like Toronto. Fuck Toronto.
I had a teammate. He moved from Toronto out here. First, game that he was on our team, he talked about it. He's like, man, I didn't know it was such a thing. I wore my Toronto jersey downtown. People are stomping on the street to yell at me. Yeah. It was like the garbage truck driver was cursing me out as I walked past the alleyway. He's like, I didn't know what was going on.
I loved those years of just terrible Toronto and just being able to rub it in and say, oh, and
Well, I
I
think
mean, it was fun, but I never really hated them. I loved Wendell Clark and Doug Gilmour and Matt Sundin.
I respected Doug Gilmour big time. Yeah.
I mean, I that was one of my favorite teams. We were just talking about that 93 season when Wayne Gretzky beat them in the semifinals. But there was that incident where Gretzky high stick Gilmour. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big high stick.
No call.
Kerry Fraser did not make the call. Gilmour was leaking blood. This is in overtime, by the way, so it would have been a 5-minute major in Game 7. And sure enough, Gretzky scores the overtime game-winning goal to win it and advance to lose to Montreal in the final. But that was a great Toronto team in that. But I've got those Toronto fan friends that I just love to rub it in when they don't make the playoffs for how many years that was. They probably didn't make the playoffs for a good 15, 20 years until Matthews came aboard. But
there's something about people from Vancouver not liking the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I think it's one of those things that's passed through from your parents through the generations. It's like when you first started voting for a political party, you probably voted for what they voted for.
That's a whole other conversation.
Do we have time?
Do we have?
yeah, we should. No, we got lots of time.
I think it's generational. I think that you're brought up to not like.
I mean, it's part of that.
It's a lot to do.
It's like
with
racism. Usually, people learn it from either the social group or their parents.
I mean, there's that movie, that little cartoon
Join our
animation
Patreon for
about
that
the kid that
conversation.
gets the Toronto Maple Leaf jersey and is like, "What? Are you kidding me? That's the most hated team." Have you seen this?
Yeah, the
Canadian-
sweater.
the hockey sweater.
Oh,
the book.
maybe
It was a book.
It's an animation.
Well, was it a book, and then
It
they
was a
made
book.
an animation, or
Yeah,
an
yeah,
animation,
yeah,
they
yeah.
turned it into a book.
It was a book, and
But
they made
super
an
great,
anime.
super great story, right?
Yeah, so watch that, man.
I saw the little baby get the Toronto Maple Leafs jersey and start crying.
Oh,
He was like, he's probably maybe 12 months old or
Let the
something.
hate flow through you. Listen, so
Darth side.
teams and teamwork and championships, we kind of touched on this, and I mean, we're at the hour mark. I don't know how much more we want to talk about.
we're done.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, when Vegas first came in and they were all the misfits, I kind of knew they were going to do well immediately, because what a great way to congeal a team. What a great way to have everyone galvanized and have a common goal to work against the motherfucking rest of the 31 teams or whatever that excommunicadoed us guys. And so, it took a little bit of time, but they got the right pieces and fucking look at them. And I mean, when I say look at them, the team is, solid. I think if we could switch rosters, boy, I'd be a happy man.
Was that the first time they did that kind of?
Yeah, I think so.
They've never done that
for the
right?
the expansion draft. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they did it with Seattle, and then they changed it a bit, and so Seattle didn't quite become, and everybody learned from Vegas, so Seattle's not quite the powerhouse, but they kicked the shit out of us the other night, so they're not doing too bad. But my point was, like, that team immediately became a team with a common goal and a common fucking enemy, you know, like, because, you know, like, even though they're pros, that's a thing. That's kind of a fuck you moment, right? At least it would be if that's me in that room. And so, you know, and then I looked at you, I mean, just because of the spotlight on them with the Washington Capitals, you see them all. I mean, of course, they're all kind of around Ovi right now. He's the heartbeat of that team. But, like, just, you know, there doesn't seem to be any frowny faces over there. Not, you know, and they're winning. So, obviously, you know, there isn't going to be frowny faces. It's hard to be a downer when you're winning all the time. But, you know, there isn't any, you don't really hear anything, you know. So it's teams like that. It's if you can get everyone to pull the same, like, that's what it's got to be. It's got to be the buy-in. It has to be, and it comes from within the walls of the team. And so that's why I say, Canuck Nation, Canuck fans, like, if you're still listening after an hour of our ranting and raving about all of the things OV, just have a little faith, because this next bound for the rest of the season is a bit of a show for maybe some of the younger guys, and maybe it's kind of the goaltending and systems and things, and just trying to ride out the rest of the season, because I do believe that there are going to be a lot of changes made in the offseason and in the preseason and moving forward, and maybe the draft, and who knows what.
Maybe the coach.
And I would hate to see that.
I would hate to see that too. Yeah.
I think the head coach should stay. I think the defensive coaches should stay. But maybe the Twins need to kind of step back a little bit. Maybe some of the, you know, and hey, like, this is all stuff we can get into later, but there have to be some changes. And that is apparent, because we're a different team. We're a different team at this time this year than we were last year because of personnel. And just look at the personnel changes. Don't look at anything else. We're lighter on defense. We're lighter up front. We're a lighter team. Maybe we can't be, because Rick Tocchet doesn't want to fucking coach that way.
Yeah, I want to see Tocchet hockey.
Yeah. So, thanks for tuning in. Stick with us. Like and subscribe. And
brought to you by our sponsor, Lanikai hand sanitizer. You can use this to clean your hockey gear. Here,
I might actually. You know what? Try. My gloves reek like all kinds of things, so I might use this.
Give it a try. It's got coconut.
Yeah,
it'll smell nice.
It'll smell better than the stuff I'm using now. So awesome.
And After 8 minutes.
Ooh, After 8 minutes are so good.
So good.
Predictions for Stanley Cup final?
Oh, we got time. Let's just see who gets into. Do we want to do the whole thing right now?
No.
The whole thing?
Just one team. I'm picking the Jets.
It's not your end goal. We still don't even know.
Since the Canucks are out, I'm going Jets. I like Kyle Connor.
Bets, but for now, just pick a team.
Kyle Connor's my guy. And I like Hellebuck. He's got
solid.
Solid.
I'm going to say Dallas.
So yeah, they stocked up.
Yeah, they put some depth.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing Montreal. I'd prefer to see Montreal over Toronto.
The Cinderella story. Okay.
Who's Florida up against?
They're going to be playing Tampa Bay in the first round.
They'll win.
And
they'll
Tampa
win
is
that.
hot, man.
Yeah, but
have you seen Kucherov's last 5 games? He got like 11 points in 3 games.
Was it his goal? I watched somebody score like the no move. I think it was him on a shootout or whatever. It's so gross.
Yeah.
As a former goalie, I watched that and I just vomit.
This morning,
fucking asshole. Like, especially because you know it's coming. It's like, you know it's coming. I have my best man as a goalie on the street, and then growing up and then playing ice hockey, the same fucking deke comes in and we shoot the same way. Fucking whoop, backhand upstairs every fucking time.
Or now I know what move to give.
No. Like, I could stop other guys doing that move, maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
Him, for whatever reason, every time. Every fucking time. So if you're out there, Bones, go fuck yourself. Because I still get nightmares over that shit.
Nice.
Anyway, thanks for listening. And
That's a good way to end it.
yeah.